Yo, it's EastCoastSnow, and today we're going to be going over whether or not you should get the Indy Pass in 2023-2024 ski season. We're going to be going over the regions, the blackout dates, the prices, the maps, and more. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so this pass is mainly for people that live in America. Even in Alaska and Canada, it's not bad, but it's mainly people that live in America. We got places in the West, places in the Rockies, places in the Midwest, places in the East, Mid-Atlantic, and even in Japan. So let's check out the prices on these. So we got the Indy Pass and then we got the Indy Base Plus Pass. The only difference between these two is that the fact that there's no blackout dates on the Indy Base Plus Pass. So we can get into blackout dates later, but it's only about 20% of the resorts or less or more depending, because there's 120 plus resorts on these passes. But the only difference is that one has blackout dates and one doesn't. The benefits on both the passes are pretty much the same. You get 2 days all day or 2 days all night at 120 plus resorts. You also get 25% off a third day, which is kind of cool. You also get 2 trail day passes at Indy Cross Country Resorts, and then exclusive access to lodging discounts. I know a lot of passes give that discount as well, and then discounted tickets at Allied Resorts. So as you can see, the adult is $319 and the adult Indy Pass Plus is $419. So it's $100 difference for the adult if you want to have no blackout dates, which is important to many people because some of these mountains do have blackout dates all throughout the season on Saturdays and Sundays. It's only a couple, and then some of them have it during Christmas or MLK and President's Day. So let's check them out. Alright guys, so here's the full map of all the 120 plus resorts on the pass. There's even places in Japan on here, but most of the places are in America, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and then in the Midwest or the Mid-Atlantic. So I couldn't figure out the color coding here with this because it seems like it's the blackout dates, but it's really not. But if you look on the left side here, you can kind of see your area and where it may be. So you could pause the video to see what mountains may be in your area or where you live. I know on us on the East Coast, there's not a ton of mountains that we've skied before. So we're not too sure about many of these places, if we haven't really been to many of these places, which would be a really interesting experience to do if you're looking to explore a lot of different mountains. As you can see, it's a pretty spread out map. There's a lot of mountains in many different places across the United States, and there's even a couple in Japan and 1 or 2 in Alaska, and I think in Canada as well. So let's check out the blackout dates on this pass. Alright guys, so here are the blackout dates for the regular Indy Pass. Remember that the Base Plus Pass does not have any blackout dates. So we got 23 resorts that have blackouts during Christmas, 29 resorts have blackouts during MLK, President's Day weekend, 13 on Saturdays, and 7 on Sundays. Now, it's not that many resorts, even though it seems like a lot. Because there's 120 plus, it's really not that bad. So we're going to go through just a couple of them here. If you want to pause the video and see if your area or any of the mountains that you might want to ski has blackout dates during certain times, you could see it now. Remember, read these notes as well, because some of the mountains specifically have specific directions on when you can and cannot go. And then there are mountains that don't have any blackout dates, which are these mountains here. Now I'd pause the video as well here if you'd like to see all these mountains that have no blackout dates on the regular Indy Pass. Now remember, again, the Indy Base Plus Pass has 0 blackout dates, but these are the no blackout dates for the regular pass. That's $320. So should you get the Indy Pass in 2023-2024? In my opinion, this seems like a pretty good pass. However, you really got to research it and see exactly what mountains that you might want to visit are on it, and if there's mountains close enough to your region. This is a pretty broad pass. There's a lot of mountains in a lot of places, so I don't think you can go wrong if you get this and you can't think of another pass to get. Do remember, you got to look into exactly what mountains have certain blackout dates. Like I said, there's a couple mountains that have Saturdays and Sundays with full blackout dates throughout like the entire season almost, and then many of them have it during Christmas, MLK, and President's Day weekend. So if you want to ski those times, you may want to consider getting the Indy Base Plus Pass, where there are no blackout dates and it's $100 more for $419. So we're from the Atlantic City area, and we like to ski the East Coast a lot, Vermont, New York, a little bit of PA, but mainly Vermont and New Hampshire because the mountains are much bigger there. So this pass wouldn't be a bad pass to consider for us. I didn't even know about this pass before this, and it's really not a bad deal for $320, but there's a couple blackout dates you got to remember. So if you're a weekday warrior, this may be a pass for you, but you just really got to check it out and see what mountains you want to go to and if those blackout dates are in there, and really, see if this is the pass for you. So last thing I want to go over is that if you're planning on going on big trips across the country, or you want to visit different states, this may be a pass for you because it's not as expensive as maybe the Epic or the Northeast Value or the Icon Pass or other passes that are like $1,000. Because this pass, you can still ski the east, or you can ski the west, and then you could travel over to the east, or travel over to the west, or travel over to Japan and still ski and get that experience for $320, as long as you follow the blackout dates. So that's definitely something to consider, and something me and my friends are going to be considering, whether or not we want to do 1 or 2 big trips somewhere, and whether or not this might be a good value for doing that, as well as skiing mountains and near rocks. So if you guys like this video and you like me going over the passes and going into it a little bit, let me know in the comment section below. If you got any suggestions, let me know too, or any questions, let me know. East Coast Snow out.